Hi everybody! Today we're going to see how I draw Hermione Granger from Harry Potter. Just so you know, there's a coloring book that you can get through Amazon. Just follow the link in my description and you can get a coloring book to show me how you color to how I draw. Okay, pencils first and then Sharpies. So if you don't want to watch the pencil portion of the video where I sketch the entire thing out, look in the description and you'll find a link that you can click on that will take you to the Sharpie portion of the video. I'll even include one for color. But for those of you that are going to stick around, I'm going to start off with a quick sketch for myself and get us going. Okay, more Harry Potter. I talked about this in the Harry Potter video of, I like to draw current things, like whatever is the big, the current movie that's out or something, because that's what everybody's talking about. That's what everybody wants to see and are watching, the Mandalorian and stuff like that, But the problem is, Harry Potter's over. Sure, I get it. There's still what's the Gary Lefterfield's Book of Monsters, where he's chasing the monsters down and stuff like that. Look, I don't ever remember anybody's name, so I'm always making it up, so don't try to correct me. But the point is, Harry Potter's over, so we're not going to see any more movies, so I'm never going to catch them at a current time, right? So I thought, why not do it? Someone else was requesting it. It's like, yeah, well, that makes sense. Let's go ahead and just do some Harry Potter, because like I said, there's not going to be another time that we're going to see them. Well, there's not going to be any new movies that I can say, hey, let's do it while this is premiering or coming out or whatever, So yeah, that's why. But, I mean, it's fun. It's an excuse to do Harry Potter is all I really need. I mean, I don't really need an excuse. I'm just saying it gives me a reason to say now I can do Harry Potter. Not that I couldn't. It's just A, I just need something to talk about. B, like I said, I try to keep up with what's current and not showing you boring old stuff. Sometimes I will. Sure. Because, it's how I draw. But the point is, that's why I'm doing Hermione Granger, or all the Harry Potter characters. It's time. It's time to catch up with the funness. What's the word I'm looking for? The funness. I know that's not a word. You know what else is not a word? Quackawackly. But I still said it anyway, didn't I? Ooh, in your face, Webster. Okay, and I want her robe flowing, right? Should I do this one up? What did I do for Harry Potter? I don't know. We're gonna do it up. I like the flow of the gowns. The robes, sorry, not a gown, the robe. The real trick is, how am I going to pose them? Because, I mean, they're just going to be holding wands, right? There's no big action pose or anything like that, but I want to give them something. I want to do some kind of, here's an action pose for this character. But what are you going to do, right? It's like, I can only do so much. And it still, I don't want to say makes sense, but feels natural, right? Like, I don't want to put them in a jumping pose and stuff like that, because that's not what they did. They weren't jumping characters, and I don't mean literally jumping. Don't try to correct me. Like, well, in episode 7 of, it's like, I know, I'm sure somebody jumped. I'm just saying, as an example, that I'm not going to draw them in crazy positions when they don't do that stuff. The hand's a little long, but I think I'm okay with that. Let's just go with it. like for old Ron Weasley. Like, what do I do? I mean, a cowering. But see, I don't want him cowering like he's a coward. That's not the word I'm looking for. I mean, like he's what do you call it? He's comical, I guess. But not all the time. I get it. Not all the time. Ooh, let's try something different with her hand. Let's try. Yeah, let's do that. Let's see if I can pull this off. I'm gonna do like a hand almost like this, right? But looking at it from a front view, so it's gonna be a little tricky. Because it's gonna be foreshortened and it's gonna look strange. So I gotta make sure that I get the foreshortening correctly. That might work. Okay, so let me draw some kind of some kind of face, and the reason I'm laughing is because I already know, I talk about this all the time, I can't draw, well, I don't have time to draw correct likenesses. I can. I mean, obviously, if you can draw and you sit down long enough, you can draw exactly what you want to draw, right? It just takes time. The thing is, I don't have the time to draw Eleanor left to Joan. I don't know. I never remember anybody's name, so I've been making a joke of calling them all different crazy names. But anyway, so I can never draw likenesses, so I've committed to accepting that I am drawing someone who is dressed in cosplay. Because I don't have time in these videos to make it look like the actual person. See, and I think that might work. I think that's going to work right there. Yeah, not bad, not bad. So let's do that. Let me erase some of these sketch lines now, because what I like to do is I want my Sharpie to stand out, not my pencil lines. So these first few lines I put down, it's for placement. It's basically getting the positioning and all that stuff. And as I get more confident, I press harder. So when I lightly erase like this, these sketch lines, they're so light they disappear pretty easily. And I'm not pushing hard enough to erase the confidence lines. So we're gonna follow our confidence, get rid of our sketchiness, and that's how you live your life too. Get rid of your sketchiness, follow your confidence, you'll do amazing things in life. And I'll be there applauding the entire way. Okay, that's good enough. I can see where we're gonna go, but enough has disappeared, so I'm just gonna jump right in and welcome all the skippers that jump to this part of the section. Welcome skippers, welcome to the Sharpie portion of the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe because I do a different drawing every day. You can join along and have some fun. I'm going to be using a Sharpie fine point and a Sharpie pen. Most of the fine point, but a pen's a little finer than the fine point. You can find things that a fine point can't quite find. Oops. I've erased my sketch. I've left myself enough to see where I'm going to go. And if you want to see more Harry Potter, check out that playlist right there. Or just check out the playlist in general, because I do so many that I may have already drawn what you're looking for. If not, drop me a request and we'll see what we can do. I'm going to jump right in with her eyes. I got the position. I just want to see if I've got it level to where I want to be. So I'm going to draw the top of her lids like this. And that looks good to the way I've got her head turned. So I'm going to go ahead and try to draw some retina, the color part. The thing is, this is so tiny, it can only fit in so much. And and I'm going to hit it with just a little dab for the pupil like that. Now, again, this is so tiny I can't draw the bottom of the eye, so you can if you want, but me, I just kind of come in and do that. Just kind of go towards the center just to show that there is a bottom, and eventually I can do it with color, but for now, that's all I can do. And I'm going to thicken up the top of the eye to make it like a nice little lash. Not much, because like I said, it's going to start to bleed, but I wanted to give it something. So for her eyebrows, I'm going to go ahead, I got to be careful because I want the hair parted over there too, so I'm just going to come over and do this. Do the same thing over here for this one. Something like that. I stopped there because, like I said, the hair is going to go over, but we'll see what happens. And then for the bridge of the nose, I'm not worried about that. I'm going to do that with color because that's a nice smooth contour. It's not a hard edge that a Sharpie should be defining. So for her nose, I'm just going to kind of come in here and do some nostrils like that. Maybe do a little bit of the edge. But all the bulb and all that stuff, I don't want to do that. I want to, but I'm afraid that it'll bleed too much if I do. So maybe I can come in here and hit it just a little bit for the bottom of the nose, but that's all I want to do. Because like I said, it's gonna bleed too much if I go further than that. For her mouth, let's see. Now the problem with this is that it's so small that I can barely add more to it. So I'll try to add the top lip, but again, it's gonna bleed just a little bit because it's so close. And I'm just gonna have to accept that as that's the top lip. But I can do the bottom lip. We can make that a little thicker, right? Just to show that there's something there. And so now I'm going to draw her chin. And I've already talked about this in the sketch. I talk about this all the time, that I can't draw likenesses, so I've accepted that. It's not going to look anything like Vermelia Chesterhauser. You know, the girl that plays Hermione Granger. And also, I don't know their names. I mean, I know them. Daniel Radcliffe. Okay, so look, I know this is not Daniel Radcliffe. I'm just trying to say the funny thing that made me laugh so hard about the last video is I could not for the life of me remember his name. And I kept saying it, and it's like, don't correct me, don't tell me, because I know it. It's gonna come to me. It just didn't come to me automatically. So it's just funnier to me to make up names because I can't remember Leslie Porterhauser, you know? Okay, so I'm gonna have her hair parted on the side over here, and I'm just gonna kind of wing it over like this. And now I'm gonna start to add curls, right? Not too many. I mean, I want to, but that's the problem. I don't need to draw all of them, right? Color needs to take care of a lot of this stuff. But let's see, on the side of her head's coming down over here. And we're gonna part her hair on the side. And now I can start to shape her head. So, but yeah, I don't want to draw every single hair. I mean, I want to, absolutely I do, but I shouldn't. I should let color take care of some of that, and then, you know, still just kind of give myself a little bit of freedom by not drawing every single thing. Let's see, to the top of her head, this is what I like to do. I like to come in and draw a line, and if it works, perfect. If not, I go back and get higher, right? That's not bad, but I'll do another one like that, just to kind of go a little bit further. And so sometimes I'll do little stuff like that just to kind of give myself a little bit more freedom than saying, well, you drew this, you're stuck with it. Especially with a Sharpie that's permanent. Like there's no erasing, you know. I think that's good. What I'm going to start to do is thicken up some of my lines too. You'll see I did that on the jaw. When I switch over to this Sharpie, you're going to see a huge difference in line width. So I'm trying to match where it's going to go without getting too crazy. But I mean, obviously I'm going to get some kind of crazy. but you don't have to if you're working with pencil. It may look strange to you, so just do what makes you happy. I'm just explaining to you why I draw how I draw. Okay, so I want some of her hair like all her shoulders raised, so I want some of it kind of messed up. I was going to say mussed up, but that's not really a word, right? Okay, I like that blob. So now let's see if we can put some locks in here. Like I said, not all of them, just enough to guide us that it's curly hair. I like it. I like it. Okay, so again, I'm going to thicken up my outer edges. You don't have to. This just works for me with my style, what I'm doing. But it's also why I use two Sharpies, because it's a nice complementary line to each other. All right, I like that. I like that a lot. Let me go ahead and thicken up these edges too, because it's going to kind of disappear a little bit when I start working with that Sharpie. And I mean, it's hair, so it should be delicate anyway, but you know how these things go. All right, so I'm gonna draw her shirt, like the collar, like that, and then the tie is gonna be down here. There's the edge of her sweater. And then I'm going to draw her cloak. And so the cloak, I've got it buttoned like that. And then it's going back. Now, she has her hood of the robe. It's hard to draw with a big Sharpie. And also, it's so much underneath her hair that you really can't see it anyway, so I'm not too worried about it. But I do want to show you the front, so let's just go ahead and draw the flow that I had to it. So that's that edge flying open. I'm going to go ahead and do this one too, again, because it's in front, and we need to define some start and stop points anyway. There we go. So that's where it's going to be flying open, okay? Okay, and so the hood over here, again, is mostly under her hair, so I'm not too worried about it. But I do want to define it before I start drawing all my other little lines. So this arm is raised, so I'm kind of following anatomy cloaked. So I'm going to add some creases and folds to bumps, but I'm following her arm that I already sketched out. Does that make sense? And the end of the cloak, the sleeve, oh, I just don't have words, is hanging down, a little dramatic, little dynamic. There's your sweater, and let me go ahead and just draw the cloak, and then we'll come back to the hand. I want you to get a feel for where we are. Okay. And then this is coming down, and it's going to disappear behind this because this is flap coming over, which is hiding the one side. So that way you kind of get an idea of the cloak and where we are. And since we're here, let's lines. Just because it's wrinkled fabric and it's being stretched and pushed right there, that's why I wanted to add a little extra. So we'll draw like the arm is in there, but that's it. That's all I want to do. I want to draw more. Obviously I want to draw more, but I need to keep it simple to show that it's cloth, right? Okay, so her hand's gonna be like this, holding the wand. So I'm gonna draw her thumb on top. Then the meat of her hand, the big fat part right there. And then the finger, so basically we're doing this is what we're doing. So this finger is gonna be wrapped around a little bit like that. And then the other ones are wrapped over the wand, right? And it's turned, so her hand is pretty much like that. And I'm going to add some extra detail real fast. I'm going to draw with a small Sharpie because I did Harry's wand with the big Sharpie, and big mistake. It was too bulky. Like I need some more finesse. I need a little bit more subtlety, right? All right, so same thing. Wand is out like this. I'm gonna add some of the little indentions she has on hers. I actually did research as to what her wand looks like, just to try to get it close for you guys. And this, you know, obviously is nothing like it, but I saw the grooves that were in it, and I wanted to get it a little close. All right, looking good, looking good. Okay, and so this hand, we're gonna get tricky again. Okay, so how this robe, this part of the robe flaps out. Smooth that out a little bit. Right, so this flap is going out. This one you're seeing the top of. So again, let me draw that for you real fast. Now, I'm gonna have it flowing through like this. The back's gonna go through there, so that means it's gonna circle back like that. So that gives us this edge. That's kind of determines where your edge stops. So basically this is gonna go through like that, but that's the long flap right there. Bottom edge, long flap. So now I can draw her arm. So same thing we did here, just down. Wrinkles, following anatomy, or following the sketch of anatomy. And then I'm going to hang it down like this. I got it going out as well. A little, again, a little dynamic, a little fancy. From Texas, so we call it fancy. There's an I in there. It's fancy. I'm going to bring it down like this. Swoop it like that. And again, that kind of gives it that flowing. So I was talking about this in the sketch. It's like, what do you do? How do you give them dynamic traits when they don't do a lot? You know, they don't jump around. Oh, they do, obviously, but you know what I'm saying. And I think this is good for her, that it's a nice flowing. She's in control a lot more than everybody else. So she is like a little bit more dynamic with her powers. A little more, not dynamic, a little more elegant, right? Okay, so this hand's gonna get a little tricky because I've got it like this in so many words. So that means it's gonna be pointed this way, and I can't really do it. So the thumb's gonna be foreshortened. So bear with me, and then we're gonna come back and add some tiny detail, okay? So I'm gonna have the hand up like this. The thumb's gonna be like this. Again, just bear with me. I'm gonna put the index finger out like that. I'm gonna come in. The middle finger is going to be coming down, and then the ring finger is going to be out a little bit. I know it seems like it's longer, but just again, bear with me. Pinky, like this, and then I can add some detail now that I've kind of defined it, and you'll see what I'm talking about in a second. I know it seems very, you know, stubby for a thumb, but we kind of have to do something like this just to get a little bit of a dynamic feature here. And the other thing too is like, well, also the Sharpie bleeds so much that you kind of have to just accept that, yeah, you're only going to get so much out of this anyway, you know. And so it's all right. It could have been better. I'm not gonna lie, but again, we can only do so much with these Sharpies. But the point is, I want you to be able to just grab what you have lying around the house. You know, I want you to be able to just pick up a Sharpie, pick up a pencil, not have to buy expensive supplies. Now that I have that hand, I can finish up the robe. See, I stopped early because I didn't want to like draw through it on accident. Oh, why am I closing it? All right, so I'm gonna draw her sweater like this. Bring it down like that, and she does have. It looks a little. She looks a little tubby, right? It goes out like that. It's just the way that the sweater is twisted. So we'll just do something like that, just to kind of show that, yeah, it's a folding sweater. That's it. All right, so she's got her skirt on. So I'm just gonna kind of come up here and do this. Again, kind of a little dynamic, a little flowing still. All right. Again, we can't do much because it's a skirt, and there's just a little bit of flow to it. That's really about it. All right. So legs, and then shoes. So I've already drawn her anatomy, so I know where it's going to go. So here's her knee, to her shin, to her ankle. And then the shoe, it's got like this big, oh here, I'm sorry, let's draw the leg. So there's the back of the knee, to the calf, to the ankle. I'm gonna draw the shoe. And there's like a big, like buckle. That's the word I'm looking for. I couldn't think of it earlier. On that part of the shoe. Something like that, nothing too crazy. And smooth some of that out real fast. But yeah, there's not too much I can really do for the shoe. It's just a regular old shoe. Maybe we can do like a little bit of a knee. She's got black hose on anyway, so you can't really see as much anyway. Same thing here, but this foot is pointed more at you. So I'm gonna draw one side of the leg. That is the other side. And again, we'll draw a little bit of the knee. Just to give it something, because that's another thing when it's like anatomy, you know, there's no, like the nose, there's no hard edges, there's nothing I can really define. So, oops, that bled a little bit. So there's only so much I can do, so I like to add little stuff like that just to help it out. All right, there's the buckle. Foot down like that. Front of the shoe. Again, more pointed right at you, so it's just kind of like straight. There's not much you can really see. See, that's the front toe, like that. All right, so the last thing we're gonna do is just finish up the robe. And so, like I said, I had it kind of flowing like this. I just want to make sure I kind of bring it up there. So, I'm gonna flow it back like that. Looks good. Looks good. And there we go. So I say we take care of the rest with color. So that is Hermione Granger from Harry Potter. So here's how I colored it. Tell me what you think in the comments below, or show me what you did in our Discord group. Just have fun and make it your own, because remember, this is how I draw. You draw how you draw, and we'll meet somewhere in between. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more adventures with How I Draw. Plus, don't forget to hit that notification button for new videos.